Hello, and welcome to A Muggle's Perspective, the Harry Potter podcast that is ostensibly a Harry Potter podcast and sometimes is a fantasy football podcast. I'm one of your perspectives, Rogge. I'm joined today by Braden, our Muggle.
Hello.
I'm also joined today by Carla, another perspective,
Hi
I
there.
guess. Hi. Carla is one of our lovely patrons. She has supported us through good times and bad here on A Muggle's Perspective, and we really appreciate her. You may recognize her voice from such notable things as other episodes she's been on. So that's always been fun. Carla, how are you? I feel like we need to catch up.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot has happened.
Yeah.
But I'm okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everyone's staying safe and good. I mean, in more ways than one these days.
Yeah. Well, we've had a wild ride, but it's been very quiet and homely.
Really? Okay, well, good. Braden, is there anything new in the Carpenter household? Has he chewed through any new table legs lately, or?
We are down to our last few toys.
Is he destroying them?
At this point, like if it's not made of Kevlar, he'll probably chew it in half.
Mm-hmm.
Today was his very first day of puppy daycare.
Oh, wow.
So it's hilarious. This place down the road from us, actually a really nice place. They do what they call an evaluation.
You had to go in for
So
a puppy test?
we dropped him off this morning and they were like, all right, so we'll just kind of like see how he interacts with other dogs and how he responds to commands and things. And
you're like, oh, never mind
we'll...
then. If he has to respond to commands,
yeah,
we'll just...
I was like, so they said they would give him a report card,
Wow.
which they followed up on. It's hilarious. And like, so the first day is free. Like you get to basically like a free day of daycare where they evaluate him. And then they basically tell you like, he can come back, but he kind of has to be in a room by himself because he's a psycho, or he can come back and he did really well. So he can play with all the other dogs, or like, hey, maybe this isn't the best place for him. Maybe just like a cage,
So how'd he do?
He did really well.
Oh.
The girl that brought him out.
Yeah, Coop.
Yeah. So proud of him. The girl that brought him out said all the girls in there loved him, so he's a little ladies' man,
A heartbreaker.
They wrote that he positively, spelled PAWSI, positive TIVELY. It's weird when you have to spell it with dog terms. He positively loved his time with friends. So he's always been a very social puppy. So he literally has like slept from the entire the moment we got home, he collapsed on the floor.
That's what's great. So is that the plan, is for him to go a couple times a week or every day, or?
I think like 1 or 2 times a week. One, because eventually he will just grow to hate us and want to live there. But 2, we cannot afford more than 1 or 2 days.
I figured. I was like, wow, you guys are really doing
it's
well.
Expensive.
If you can
Yeah,
just pay someone to take care of a dog all day.
I mean, we're getting a little discount right now because Hannah's an essential worker.
Right.
So that's kind of what has like spurred it. Like, yeah, let's try it for a while. But yeah, probably 1, maybe 2 days a week.
Yeah. So that's exciting for Cooper.
There's your pup date.
Love a good pup date. Carla, we've had some in the last couple episodes that have not yet aired. We have come up with some new inside jokes, so we will try to not overuse those because you have not had a chance to listen to those, which is by no means your fault. So one of them, we've changed "Do We Care" to "Do We Caragog" because of Aragog's funeral, R.I.P. So that's kind of, as you can imagine, they're all pretty pun-based, which I don't know how well that translates. We also did a French accent at one point, which is possibly insensitive. I did. It was my impression
I'm
of
sure it
Fleur.
is, but it's fine.
It was my impression of Fleur. Yeah, it's not meant to be. If anything, I'm the one like that it is mocking more than it is any other real person. So, in case you're a first-time listener, which I don't know why you would be, but we are on chapter 26 of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This is Braden's first time reading it, and we're going to discuss it, and then we're going to have one of our special live read sessions for chapter 27. Before we get into it, Carla, when we started this book, did you already know, okay, we're definitely going to do a live read for chapter 27? Would you have guessed?
Should I say the truth?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it's yes or no. It's a yes or no question. It's not. You can't spoil too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've told Braden that these are very important chapters, so he needs to be very excited and have lots of thoughts and predictions. Because
Are you, Braden, very excited?
I can't even contain it, Carla.
pumped and jacked. So yeah, we're going to be doing a live read for that chapter, and that'll be good. But I'm on page 555. Is that about the page that you're on in your version, Carla? For the beginning of chapter 26?
Yeah, about that, yes. Rough, well, it's in the ballpark.
Give or take.
The translations are very very well made, I would say, because I've had the chance to read both, and they're very very close.
Yeah, I've read.
Although I think we need more words in Portuguese. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. So, like times that words are invented or something, you wish there was like a Portuguese invented version of that word?
Yeah, but in general, we use a lot, well, a bit more words than you do in English to say the same thing.
Okay.
It's very usual. But in this case, I'm just trying to find the page.
Okay. It's a book podcast, so lots of good page turning sound effects is good, I think. Yeah. There it is.
That wasn't me.
That was me reading the rest of the book.
So, Braden, we start here with Harry and Dumbledore on the kind of the edge of a cliff, out on like a rocky outcrop, ready to dive into the water. And so I have a little bit of a do we care agog. Do we care agog about how good Dumbledore is at swimming? Why is he so
yes,
good?
And I had a feeling that you would ask me this. I kind of feel like this has to be a little bit comical in the movie if they portray it right.
Sure.
By the look on your face, I'm guessing not in the movie. If it were in the movie, I feel like it would be a chance to add some humor. Like Dumbledore's kind of maybe showing his age lately. He's been going through a lot that we don't know about, and he's got the withered hand. And then he just like tears off his cloak and he's ripped, and he just dives head first into the water.
Yeah.
And just starts like swimming like Michael Phelps.
It's like a cartoon where like sort of an engine is almost on him and like the water's just flipping up and creating a wake. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of swimming trunks do you think he would use? He would wear?
Speedo.
Yeah, I mean, he's European.
Definitely a Speedo.
He seems like that kind of personality, you know?
He's technically European. Yeah, I mean, if he's in good shape, you know, nothing to be ashamed of. He's like 170 years old or something.
Definitely.
So Harry follows him, and it doesn't say how Harry is swimming, but it can't be as good, right? And I'm trying to remember. It talks about Harry's swimming back in Goblet of Fire because he has to swim to the bottom of a lake, and I think it was like Harry had never gotten swimming lessons because his guardians hated him growing up. So this was sort of his first time getting to actually try to swim. So I always wonder how that went.
Apparently he's a natural if he swam to the bottom of a lake on his first try.
Did the the description of swimming into the cave, do you have a good mental picture of kind of what we're up against here?
Yeah, just, I mean, not to be short, but like just darkness, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just imagining, you know, it says that Dumbledore is holding the wand in his teeth, which I feel like just adds to the imagery for me of just like his, like David Hasselhoff, like swimming look here. Um, excuse me. So yeah, I'm kind of imagining like them just like scooting along the cave wall, and it's just like really all you can see is the outline of their faces and shadows, and then like just the green light out in the middle. A little bit Great Gatsby-ish, if you will.
Have not read Great Gatsby, but I know that there is a green light in it. So, Braden's shocked. The unprecedented scenario of him having read a book that I have not.
Yeah, yeah. Carla, have you read Great
Spoiled it for
Gatsby?
you.
Yeah.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep,
And
in the book.
He's
That's
rich.
him.
He's
Yeah,
rich
he's
in
in
the
the book.
20s. And
He is Gatsby.
he's great. He's
Yeah.
got great wealth, I think. Yeah, that was an option of a book to read in my senior English class, and I read Huckleberry Finn instead. I read most of Huckleberry Finn instead.
How do you just stop in the middle of that?
Of Huck Finn?
Yeah.
I mean, we got like halfway down the river, and I mean, I don't know. There's a lot I'm a senior in high school. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you should read The Great Gatsby.
Okay.
I think you should check that one off your list.
We might have a copy of it. We've tried to buy some classic books, like from Barnes & Noble over the years. Because Rachel, when we got married, we realized she hadn't read any classic books, basically. She went to a small Christian high school. So she's read a lot of, I mean, it's the ones I read in high school, you know, To Kill a Mockingbird and A Separate Piece and Lord of the Flies and things like that. So I'll have to get on it. I have to step up. I wondered, you already got us inside the cave. Right before they get in the cave, Dumbledore has to give a blood offering, basically, to get in. This is one of my big questions, is if what you thought the significance of that was.
Significant in the sense that, like, it lines up with Voldemort's character traits, right?
Sure.
I mean, Dumbledore
kind of explains it.
Even explains that like he wants them to feel weak upon entering. I guess I was kind of hesitant about it because of, I believe it was the last book where Voldemort was after Harry's blood, right? 2 books ago? 1 book ago?
He is really after Harry's blood in the 4th book, so 2 books ago.
4th book, 2 books ago. And obviously he's already gotten and accomplished what he needed to with that, but
maybe he's just collecting blood. He's got some Harry blood, he's got some Dumbledore blood. I mean, come
trophies.
On. Well, maybe he can he made himself a new body with Harry's blood. He can make himself a new, bigger, taller, wiser body with Dumbledore's blood.
Or maybe he's wanting to make like a combined Dumble Harry.
A Hairbuldor. It has
a Dumblerary.
It has you get all of the wisdom and facial hair of a Dumbledore, combined with the youth and the scars of a Harry.
And the height. So it's just like 170-year-old dwarf.
It's with the same length of beard.
Gnome.
The beard is dragging all over the floor.
Yeah.
It's creature.
It's creature. Yikes. It's also racist now for some reason. It's just a kink in the, like, oops. Can't be perfect. I guess that's
So
that's what Voldemort would want.
Yeah. I was kind of like, wait, like, and I think Harry was thinking this too, but like, isn't there maybe a different way than like giving Voldemort some of our blood?
Yeah. I like that Harry's like, no, I'll do it. I'm
something.
What am I? I'm younger than you, so I'm should
a Harry.
do it. Yeah. I'm important.
I'm the chosen one.
It's always me that does the thing, Dumbledore. That's just classic Harry egocentrism.
Like you would think, like, why didn't they try cutting off a small bit of his beard and offering up that,
You just
right?
need a little bit of the person. Yeah, you could use some hair or some
Yeah. Yeah.
skin or like an eyelash. What else? You could have spit. Maybe he could have spit on it. Or what if
Well,
he induced vomit? Like it has to be one of the,
just like stuck his wand down his throat.
That's gross.
There's got to be like a vomit-inducing spell.
Right, but you have to put the wand
You got
like
for it to
as
count.
far back into your mouth as you can. Yeah.
Just instead of a finger, like it's literally just the physical wand that's triggering your gag reflex. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nothing special.
But it has to cause
Keeping
pain, right?
pastilles.
Oh yeah, they could have brought. What if
Pastilles by
Dumbledore reached
Greenwood.
into his coat and he's like, I brought out some of Fred and George's skiving snack boxes.
his
This is
Speedo."
perfect." And Harry's like, you can take that one. I'm young and fit. I've got my whole life ahead of me, Dumbledore.
I'm okay.
I'm not going to be the one that. So there's no good transition as we go forward here. Oh, I do have, because my next question kind of takes us all the way to the island in the middle of the lake. But before that, knowing what you know now, did Dumbledore and Harry take appropriate precautions? Because sometimes I read this and I think, should they have brought like McGonagall or like another wizard that's good at things? Should they have brought like a sword? I don't know. Or do you think that they did everything they could?
I think they did. I get the vibe that like there really wasn't any kind of like information to be had other than just like I know where the cave is,
Right.
and I know he's probably killed some people in here.
Yeah. I'm not saying you should have
So
seen
it's
it
not
coming.
like you could really, and even if you did bring a third person, you can barely fit two people in the boat.
Yeah. And one of them's only like half a person, basically, if you think about it.
Right.
So
So maybe you could have brought Hermione and like had her sit on Harry's shoulders.
yeah. Well, what if you just brought Hermione instead? Harry, you wait here. I'm going to bring Hermione with me just in case anything comes up where I need to use magic or know
You
about
wait here
things.
on the rocks.
Yeah, you wait here. You guard the rocks. It's really important. It's like I'm choosing you to be the one that waits at the rocks. I don't know. So you sort of mentioned, it's a small boat. You can't take two full wizards in it, and we end up at a little island with I'm picturing, for some reason I always picture a bird bath sitting in the middle of this little rock. Is that what you're picturing, Carla? Braden?
Sure.
I am now.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
What were you picturing? Was it like a waterfall of evil potion before, or like a sink?
I guess I'm more picturing like Indiana Jones, right? Like he gets into the temple and there's like the stone statue,
Yeah.
like the little thing he has to steal.
Sure.
But instead of that, it's just like a stone bowl.
Okay. And
So not that different than a bird bath, but
I was trying to reconcile those in my mind. You got your bird bath of potion. Okay. Was there anything else? Because, I could ask you about the bodies that they're passing. Carla has something. Yes. This is perfect, the video.
Sorry.
No, don't ever apologize to me, Carla. We're here for you.
Can we go back just a tiny bit
Please.
to where they were in that antechamber? Chamber, and here's the thing: at a certain point, Dumbledore says, "Yes, this is the place." Something like this. I'm reading it in Portuguese. I don't remember exactly what it says, but it caught my attention when I was listening to the audiobook. And Harry asks, "How do you know?" And he says, "It has known magic." How do you interpret that? Because I'm seeing now that my book in Portuguese translated it as "I can identify the magic that was used here."
Oh,
but
interesting.
when I listened to it, I just assumed he was saying that the cave had experienced magic. That magic was brought upon the cave.
Yeah. I'm trying to find exactly. Oh, okay. So on page 557, Braden, he says, "Yes, this is the place." Yeah, and he says it has known magic. And then he goes on to say, oh, I guess I'm relating it to when he finds the boat. He finds where the boat would be.
It's a very similar situation, right?
In that case, he says, magic always leaves traces. I taught Tom Riddle, I know his style. So I guess that's all that I'm interpreting it, which is that he's basically saying, I can tell that magic was done here because of the traces that it left. But I did read this and think, maybe we could have hidden Lily and James better. Maybe we could be, if we can just hide things inside of rock walls. And yes, eventually the best wizard ever can break in and find them. Like, it's not foolproof, but we could be doing a little more to hide our important things on the good guy side. Did that enter anyone else's mind?
I hadn't thought of that, but that's probably a huge regret.
Dumbledore sees this huge lake. He's like, man, I could have fit so many people that have later died that I was trying to protect in this giant cave lake.
I guess I felt like a lot of this scene of like Dumbledore kind of just like feeling around in the dark and like whispering to himself was very like probably the first experience we have as the reader of like we've seen Dumbledore do the cool like spells and charms in battle at the end of books, right? But we haven't seen like what that looks like in terms of like discovery or research or like, you know, detective work basically. And I think there's a quote, I don't know what page it's on, but basically Harry saying like, or I think it's JKR just narrating that
it's on 558.
The thing about like often the smoke and mirrors and like the big loud spells often point to more inexperience versus like the quiet wisdom is like you would probably see that in Voldemort as well, like just kind of a solemn mysterious type magic.
Yeah, it's like you can just tell that these are someone like Voldemort or Dumbledore. They are so in tune with magic, like with the theory, they know it so well that they're not even having to use full spells. They're just kind of working off of like general magical theory, like almost experimental. Is kind of the vibe I get. I mean, it's something we talk about often is, well, what are the limits of magic? Like, we can just use a spell and it makes anything that was stolen catch on fire and rattle? Like, that's an option?
So I equate it to like, go with me here, driving a manual transmission vehicle. The people who are good at it can't explain it, right?
Sure.
Like there's really no good way to teach someone how to do that. It's a feeling thing. You can explain basic theories, right? Of like, here's how you use the clutch, here's how gears generally work in terms of like RPMs, when to shift. But until you get in the seat and like get the experience and drive time of like how and when to shift, and it's different for every vehicle, like you can't, it's just not something that can be taught in like words. So I'm equating like Dumbledore to like an experienced, like the best driver of a manual transmission of all time.
Carla, can you drive a stick shift?
That's all I drive.
Really?
I only drove an automatic one once for a month.
And you were like, this is beneath me. I'm
no, it was really weird.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
Were you like reaching for the shifter all the time?
Every time.
Yeah.
It was seriously, it wasn't easy to adjust to that. And then when I switched back to a manual one, I kept leaving the clutch alone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do the manual shift.
Yeah.
the car would sound strange.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand immediately why.
So have you driven stick so much in your life out of choice, or like are vehicles there more often manual than automatic?
Oh yes, a lot more because
Really?
there's really very few automatic models. And I think the one I drove for a month was probably not originally Portuguese. I think it came from another country and then was legalized here.
A lazier country, America.
That. No, I don't think it was. It was from Germany maybe, but a lot of cars in Europe are manual. Yeah.
Hmm.
I've driven other cars in other countries, and most of them are also manual.
I
I was unaware.
have never I've never even unsuccessful. I've never even tried to drive a stick shift. So
You haven't
Okay.
lived.
apparently, I'm underqualified to be a Dumbledore.
I really missed it when I was driving the automatic one because
Yeah.
there's a lot of um, control that you can have over the speed you're going before um, a curve or something like that you really aren't able to do with the automatic one.
You feel
You
more in tune with the vehicle,
Yes,
right?
and you have to use the brake a lot more,
Yeah.
I feel. And it's very weird when you're used to the manual one.
Yep.
Is this kind of like how I always eat traditional bone-in chicken wings, and I look down on people that eat boneless chicken wings?
Gosh, you're one of those guys.
That's exactly
Wait.
what it is.
I'm one
Yeah.
of those guys? Because you're a boneless
Yes.
guy?
I think you should be able to eat whatever kind of freaking
Yeah. Oh, of course.
chicken wing you want,
I'm not trying to take away
and
your
not
rights.
face persecution for it.
I'm not going to persecute you, but I'm going to judge you.
I don't think you should be judged. All my friends in college were this way, and it's just like
So
we used to
you're
get
the
in
one
huge
guy
fights
that
at
likes
meetups.
boneless wings.
Okay, listen.
They're easier to eat, and my hands don't get dirty, and I like dry meat. I don't want my
I
meat to
like
be...
bone-in wings.
Okay.
I like bone-in wings. I will get like we live close to an ale emporium. I think they have incredible bone-in wings.
Mhm.
But if I'm going to spend my money on food, I don't want to have to spend money on food that I have to then work for to get the food off of,
So
right? Like if it's being prepared for me and I'm giving my US currency to it to be able to consume it, I don't want to have to work any like
that's so
my work
interesting.
should stop after giving the
I
money.
can think of so many examples in which that wouldn't be true. So you're never going to eat like a fresh crab or lobster.
No, because I'm allergic to seafood.
Okay, that's if you weren't, you'd be like
But
you'd be fundamentally
similarly,
opposed.
Yes, it's annoying.
Even though
to have
it's
to,
a delicacy.
it's just annoying to have to like if you were Tom Hanks in Castaway and crabs were what you had, that's one thing, right? Braden's beef. If you're gonna go out to a restaurant and pay money for the food, I want it to be served to me, and I want to be able to consume it right there. I don't want to have to put in any more work.
I don't want to have to put a condiment on. I don't want to. If you don't serve me a burger with the bun on the side, and then have me put the bun on top, like a bunch of places do.
Yes, amen.
See, I want to eat the best tasting food that I can, and so I'm willing to put a little bit more effort into a bone-in wing because they taste better.
You think the taste is that significant, the taste difference? Now here's where I will go with you. The bone-in is usually cheaper, right?
I think it depends. I don't dislike I don't find it to be annoying. Like it's kind of a cathartic experience. Like when you have like a completely clean piece of bone and it's like I did that. You know? It's like the what are they called? The YouTube videos of people power washing, and it's like, wow, these are so satisfying. Oddly satisfying, yeah. Yeah, it's like that. You know, a really clean wing. And I didn't even start eating wings. I never went to B-dubs at all until I was like in college, basically. Like, wings was just not part of my oeuvre, my milieu, if you will.
Yeah.
So
I want to be clear.
I feel like
on
I'm
my
coming at
stance.
it.
I'm not anti-bone-in wing.
That's not what anyone's hearing. Chad,
Like.
I'm talking directly, as I often am, Chad. I'm speaking directly to you at this moment, and I am asking. I'm not asking you to excoriate
classic
Braden.
bone-in guy. Classic bone-in guy who just will not, just literally can't hear the other side of the conversation.
The problem is that I think that they are worse because the meat is dry. And I also judge you for being too lazy to eat the wing. I mean, yeah, I think that's what it is.
I think laziness gets removed from the conversation when you spend the money that you worked to earn on said food.
I think that is not an objective truth. I think that is a relative truth of that. That's how you see it, is that putting forth effort. I mean, so do you scoff at the idea of someone going to an escape room? Like, I'm going to go work to try to get out of a room. Like, I have to do things. I'm paying you money to do stuff? I'm going to pay you money to roll a ball down a lane to hit pins? Why am I paying you money for that?
Food, man. Like, food's different. That's not the same conversation.
It's just different.
Food and entertainment are different.
Like, why don't I just go see a movie where it can be put into my face instead of going to an escape room and having to put effort into it?
I think we're talking different things here.
I'm hearing, Carla, do you eat wings? Is that a thing?
I was just wondering where did the bones go in those wings, because I don't get that. I've never seen that.
You've never seen bone in chicken wings?
No.
Or boneless?
Boneless.
Okay. Yeah, oh, thank you. I've just been hand-delivered food. Oh, man, I'm going to have to pick up a fork to eat it. This is trash.
This is flashbacks to college. You
guys
are all the same.
You people, Braden,
I really didn't know about the boneless chicken wings.
It's just like
I've
shredded
had chicken wings,
and then compressed white meat, then breaded with a thicker breading.
That's nuggets.
Yes,
right?
agreed. Right. They are very similar to chicken nuggets, which I enjoy. If I'm going to McDonald's, I'm going to get a chicken nugget every time. I'm not eating a McDonald's burger. I'm going to get a chicken nugget. But if I'm going to a wings place, and if I'm going to call it a wing and pay the premium price, I'm going to eat it with a bone, because the meat is more tender and delicious, and the skin is crispy.
I think it depends on the restaurant.
Chad, I'm not asking you. I'm not saying like you have to be on my side. I just want Chad to weigh in, because I want to know what he thinks.
I want to hear where Bo's at on this too, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm willing to bet
Bo.
that both of them are bone-in guys. I'm willing to bet that both of them are, and I'll get skewered just as I always have. Mm-hmm. But
it's just a weird stance to be firm on. That's all I'll say. All right, so thanks for listening to A Muggle's Perspective. We'd love to hear what you think. We're going to cover the second and thirds of this chapter next time. All right, okay, so we're going to have to skip ahead here. What'd you think of the chapter? No. We're on the island, and Dumbledore is like, oh, it's one of these. You have to drink the potion. What I want to know, Braden, first of all, is what effect that potion had on Dumbledore. What's your interpretation? What's going on in that Dumbly head of his and throat?
First idea I had reading it was that his worst fears were all like realized. So like at one point I feel like he's screaming like, no, don't take them. I'll do anything. Mm-hmm. So like, who are them?
Who are them?
Who is them?
The classic question.
I think it's either his family or the students of Hogwarts.
Okay.
Do we know if Dumbledore has family? Has that ever been discussed?
I believe it has been mentioned that he had a brother who was arrested for performing inappropriate goat-related charms. Is that true, Carla? At this point,
I
have we
believe
been
so.
told that? Okay. I wish you guys could all see Braden's face right now.
The goat really threw him off.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass right over that one. So I think it's like whatever is in that potion makes you feel like you're like right in the midst of your worst possible fear, and you can't get out.
So why do you think that is that Voldemort didn't make it pain-based? I mean, he could have made you erupt in boils or feel like your leg was being chopped off, but he went psychological.
Because I think fear motivates people far more than I don't want to say far more than pain, but like I feel like the presence of fear is more controlling, right? You can control people more with fear. You can control people with pain, but like I feel like you can control like I don't know, think about any kind of like communist government. Like it runs on fear, right? Like you're afraid.
Any fascist government, too.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess fear is, in those kinds of cases, it's easier to instill a general sense of fear than it is to constantly be putting everyone in physical pain. So I think in terms of like broadly controlling people, I definitely agree.
Not saying that's right. Who knows why Voldemort did this?
So what is
You guys
what
do.
is
I don't.
Dumbledore's greatest fear? The students of Hogwarts being hurt? Is that what you're saying he's seen?
Yeah, the Voldemort's just murdering everyone at Hogwarts and making Dumbledore watch. I
Okay,
guess.
sure. I mean, that makes
That's
sense.
my best stab at it.
Okay, let me see here. What did the potion do to
I
Dumbledore? Oh, please, Carla, by all means.
I was going to say that I noticed that Voldemort showed some more elegance in this because up until now he really relies on inflicting pain. Even to enter this cave, you have to offer blood. So, and that's why Dumbledore was saying it wasn't very. I don't think it was elegant, the word that he used, but it was, just a cheap trick. And with this potion, Voldemort seems to have stepped it up a little bit because he's actually being much more conniving, insidious in his approach.
Yeah, I think the word Dumbledore used was crude.
Crude, that was it.
Did you guys read this as like Dumbledore being caught off guard by the potion? Because everything else, it's been like getting into the cave and finding the boat and all that. It's like he was almost entertained by it, like it was a challenge. Do you feel like he got to this potion and was just kind of like, oh my gosh, I didn't think he even thought this way.
Well, what I thought was that he considered everything before really very disappointing a little bit. He was expecting more because he expected the Dark Lord to be I'd say more evil than than he already is, and now he's somewhat, it's terrible whatever he goes through drinking that potion, but um, he recognizes now that that Voldemort is his match, or mm, could be close to his match in terms of a duel or in terms of a
Like a duel of
magical
wits.
mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More impressive.
Yeah.
Um, we've got like 3 pages here. For me, it's 570 approximately to, well, 573 of Harry just having to do it. Like Harry's listening to Voldemort or Dumbledore complain. Harry is pouring the goblet down his throat. I wondered, Braden, this is kind of a yes or no question, but I'm hoping you'll be able to unpack it a little more. Can you see Harry going forward with like some form of PTSD almost? I mean, this has got to be a traumatic. It's like the one person in his life that he actively respects the most, and he's watching him be tortured, basically. What kind of psychological effects do you think this
He's
will have on him going forward?
participating in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me, that's where the trauma starts. Is like, it's like his loyalty and trust in Dumbledore, like just at his word in this situation, is crazy. Like, if you see someone like writhing in agony because of what they just drank, and before they were writhing, they told you like, whatever I do, just make sure I keep drinking. At some point, like, I mean, he fills this thing up like 10 times, right? So I just kept thinking, like, at some point, like, there's got to be like a breaking point, right? Where you're like, okay, this Dumbledore might be wrong. Like, this seems like it's not getting better. It seems like it's worse.
That's the thing, is that it seems to progressively be getting worse.
And he's
But
somehow able to.
Sorry. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that at the same time, he probably also thinks, well, if I stop now and we don't get it, he went through all this for nothing. And probably Dumbledore or someone else will have to go through.
Which is pretty impressive perspective for like a 16-year-old, right?
It is, but he's seen a lot.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't have he has a different perspective on life in general than most kids his age.
Yeah.
Pretty grizzled. So then, I mean, I guess at this point, I know we try to avoid me doing this, Braden, but just what your take was on the whole. It refers to these dead bodies as inferi, as inferious. Is that right? I want to make sure I'm not spoiling that word for you. Yeah. Inferi.
Yeah.
Is this what you were expecting?
Yeah,
Generally?
we've come in contact with them before, right?
They've been referenced before. Snape talked about them in class.
Yeah, I guess I just, like, from the time he said he saw them swimming and Dumbledore was kind of explaining, like, yeah, it's like dead people that I would assume Voldemort has killed. I just, like, equated it immediately to zombies, basically. I guess I just felt like this whole chapter, not to skip over that, was there anything else we want to unpack from, like, what inferi are?
No, I mean, not necessarily what they are, just the whole, it's almost kind of clever, the water thing, that, like, that's what Dumbledore wants and needs, and it's the one thing that Harry can't do, or else it'll activate the inferi.
Yeah, I hadn't really connected that. You use the word conniving, Carla, like that's what this whole cave is. This is like, he spent some time thinking, like, okay, first to even be able to get in here, I want him to give blood. And then everything's going to be invisible. It's going to be a super tiny boat where they will travel across water with basically like the zombie representations of everyone I've ever killed. And then to get to this Horcrux, they'll have to drink a potion that, in my mind, makes you realize, you're living your worst fears. And all you'll want by the end of it is just a sip of water. And all the water around you just activates the zombies to come and kill you.
Oh, and I'll make sure that you can't just conjure up water while I'm on the island.
It's like some like Saw stuff.
And his whole plan was, well, he expected only one person to go through on the boat, right? So
Yeah.
if you drank the potion,
You'd be screwed.
you'd be then very thirsty and trying to drink water, and then you'd be taken under, and that's it. And there's
So
no
that,
trace of you ever again.
and that's what I mean. Like the extent he went to, what kind of death he wanted this person to die is just like kind of disgusting. Torturesome.
Yeah.
Well, good. Glad we're on the same page here. I just have a couple more. Oh, I was going to say that I think it speaks to Voldemort's nature. We've heard Dumbledore said many times, and we've kind of talked about how Voldemort doesn't have friends. He doesn't love. He doesn't rely on people. So in his mind, whenever he's going through these scenarios, you got to imagine he's just picturing one person doing it. He's like, okay, how can I take down Dumbledore? He's not thinking about Dumbledore and a helper, because who would be willing to go into something so terrifying? Like, no one is that good of friends. No one is that loyal of a follower. And so that's kind of his undoing, is that, like Dumbledore said, he wouldn't have considered an underage wizard as like a meaningful accompaniment, so he didn't ban them from getting the boat too.
Great point.
I concur.
Thanks, guys.
No, I really hadn't thought about that in that perspective, that he's so lonely that he expects everyone else to be lonely as well.
Yeah, he has no concept of companionship or like being bonded to another person emotionally, I guess.
Or sacrifice.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He can't even fathom that someone would do that. That's the opposite of his whole existence. He's all selfish. He's like the embodiment of selfishness in some ways. I think I have 2 more questions, Braden. And then I think Carla's got about 10 or 15 questions that she'll run through. And then maybe around the 3-hour mark, we'll take a recess.
I have not eaten dinner.
I have. I'll apologize to
No,
you guys
I know.
right now.
I've watched
you. Just watched me just pound a breakfast casserole. It was hot. Yeah. It was really good. You want to eat a breakfast casserole when it's hot. Could you hear me?
So I've been told.
I was trying to. I'm not. Breakfast casserole is like that's a lot of work. Like, am I really gonna dive into it? Like, I paid money for this.
But you didn't, right? So that's where
I did.
That's where it doesn't apply.
I did pay money. I bought the
didn't.
ingredients.
You didn't go out to an establishment and pay someone to cook it and serve it to you.
That's true. But people pay. People pay to go. You know those establishments where they put a griddle in front of you and you make your own pancakes, and you can put your own toppings in there. You can put your chocolate chips and blueberries and stuff.
No,
you know what
that would
I'm
be
talking
stupid.
about?
Why would you pay for that?
Because not everyone has all the different little fun things. So you can put sprinkles in there.
You can do that in your living room.
Yeah, but not everyone has those things. Has a fully stocked pantry with every different item you might want to add in. I mean, it's like, why go to a candy store and get like little scoops of all the different candy? You could just buy bags of the candy and do it in your living room.
Yeah.
So, what's your feeling on peanuts in the shell?
I like peanuts in the shell because they're quick. The work is quick and light.
What about sunflower seeds?
Those are kind of an exception because they're just, it's a baseball thing, right? Like, you just put those in your mouth just as kind of like a time passer, right?
The exception that proves the rule.
And you're not eating sunflower seeds because you're hungry, right? That's where the disconnect is. Exactly, Carla. Thank you.
But you're not eating your wings if you're eating because you're hungry, because you're like a famished child, then like you just want like rice or just something really like substantive.
This is the worst point you've made so far. Everything else was like, yeah, this is hard to argue against, but this, like, what are you even saying?
The breakfast casserole point, it was hungry? Like, I get it. I'm saying we overuse the term hungry, like real, like need. You know what I mean? Like, let's not act like you're going out because you're like,
So
I
why
have
did
to
you even eat
find.
that breakfast casserole?
I
You
ate it
weren't
because I
hungry.
was hungry.
No, you weren't. You weren't in need. You would have been fine. You're not famished.
That's true. You're right. I chose to do it, and I chose to put forth the effort of cutting into it with my fork because it brought me pleasure.
After it was served to you.
It was pleasurable to me. I would have gone, believe me, I would have gone downstairs to get it. The number of times that you've gone to put in a pizza, okay, I can pause the podcast so I can go downstairs and get some hot breakfast casserole. Moving on. Chad, call in. Roast Braden. Bo, you know what to do.
I'm very worried about you two.
We've
This
got
is the
one.
end of the
We've got one
podcast.
book to go, and we just can't make it. We're not going to get to the live read. The most important
I think Chicken
chapter.
Wings is gonna break you too.
We should do like a video that we put on YouTube or something that's of like us eating chicken wings and just glaring at each other. We're eating two different types of chicken wings. It's silent. And it's me mockingly being like, oh, this is so heavy. I have to take it all the way up to my mouth. Oh, I have to bite it, but not all the way into it because I'd shatter the bone. What effort I'm putting forth here. And you doing something else mocking that I'm sure would be really biting and witty that I can't
It's
think
just
of.
me doing other productive things because I've already like eaten all my dinner because
Yeah.
it didn't take me very long.
And it wasn't as good. It
It's
tasted a
already
little
halfway
worse.
through the Lord of the Rings.
Tasted a little
Yeah.
worse.
It's me and another guy doing a podcast who looks eerily similar to Rogge.
It's you
we're
and
doing
Aaron
about Lord of the
Rodgers.
Rings.
Who else have I been compared to? It's you and Josh Peck with a beard for some reason.
There you go.
It's you and my friend Austin, who Rachel once waved to thinking it was me. He does look like me. Beer, if you're listening, you're not listening, but if you are, you get it. Thank you, George. I know.
Okay, what
I
are these
agree
other
with you.
questions?
Oh, it's
about
just
Harry
what I
Potter?
had one. Where are we at with Dumbledore's health? So we get out of the cave. Dumbledore uses his fire ring, normal Dumbledore move, the kind of thing you're not shocked to see Dumbledore do. As we head into the next chapter, how worried are we? How are we like it's Dumbledore? He'll be fine. He'll shake it off.
No, I don't think you can walk away with that perspective on this one. I feel like subtly this whole book it's been kind of like Dumbledore slowing down a little bit,
Mhm.
and then you're getting to see it firsthand here. Like I don't see him recovering from this super quickly.
Okay. And then the very last line. Let's have Carla read. What is it in Portuguese? The last line of this chapter. Well, I'll translate it like you wanted.
You want me to read in Portuguese?
Yeah, so this is Dumbledore's quote.
Yeah. Não estou preocupado, Harry, afirmou Dumbledore, a voz pouco mais forte, apesar da água gelada. Estou na tua companhia.
That was beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
I knew what I was listening for, but I do feel like I could understand part of it because of my Spanish background. So the line is, "I am not worried, Harry," said Dumbledore, his voice a little stronger despite the freezing water. "I am with you." What did that quote stick out to you, Braden?
It's interesting just even how you read that. Like the inflection in your voice. I read it as I am with you. You read it the way I heard it when you read it. It was more like I'm not worried because I am with you.
Oh, interesting.
Like we're together, like I'm
Mhm.
still alive. But I read it more as like I'm not worried because I'm with you, Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
Yeah. Maybe that's how you read it too, Harry, or
Harry.
Ricky, but like
Harry Styles.
I heard it different. That's the other one you look like, definitely. Harry Styles.
John Krasinski, like the Jack Ryan version of John
Yeah.
Krasinski.
No, I definitely see that.
That's the
Yeah.
one that I like. That's the one that I'm like, yeah, people say I
I
look
would-
like John
yeah.
Krasinski.
I would stick to that one.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers isn't like an ugly guy. And he more often wears a full beard. But I guess John Krasinski pretty much wears a full beard now.
Yeah.
Pretty common.
I was once
I'm
stopped
rewatching
by
the Office, by the way.
You're
Good,
watching The Office right now?
good.
We're watching it and listening to an accompanying podcast. It's
Yeah.
called Office Ladies. You're listening to
Office
Office Ladies?
Ladies?
It's so
Yeah.
good. I really like it. I do not
I
think
do too.
I don't think they're very good at doing ad reads. Their ads go on
Or
for a
podcasting.
very long time. They have very interesting things to say, and I really
They do.
like their.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know
The
you were listening
Easter
to it too.
eggs,
Yeah,
the things that they come up with. Yeah.
yeah, I love it, but they haven't listened to a lot of other podcasts and gotten an idea of kind of how the flow goes, which is
They'll get there.
fun. I think they need to consult me.
Yeah. They clearly haven't listened to AMP.
Don't say
They
that.
haven't heard anything.
Don't say
They haven't
that.
heard AMP, boys.
Don't say that.
They need to amp it up.
They do. Couple of Ant boys. Yo, what up, Office Ladies listeners? Rogge and Braden are joining the pod, amping it up. Got your Ant boys. George is here.
Bwah, bwah, bwah,
Bwah,
bwah.
bwah, bwah. Angela's beef. I can't. It still just blows my mind. I know her name is Angela and her character's name is Angela. It's the same with a bunch of other characters too. But like, I want to just. Can we just call them Angela and Pam? Like, she should just call Jenna Pam. That's what I want, because I want to continue to pretend that Pam Beasley is a real person, and that's who it is. That's all I ask.
I kind of refuse to believe that John Krasinski's actually married to Emily Blunt
I know.
and not Jenna Fisher.
I know. It's unacceptable.
It's just like it doesn't.
Aren't-
It's wrong.
Aren't there like stories of them going out to eat, or like them being at a restaurant like together? It's like even just the two of them. People are like, "It's happening!" Yeah! Flipping over tables.
I would be.
Yeah, I would be too. That was my last question. Was about that.
You
quote.
wouldn't be flipping over the table because you'd still have a bunch of wings to eat. Like you'd flip them over and.
I can just put them down. I can take a break from eating my delicious wings, my hot, crispy, like juicy. Juicy is the thing that you lose in a boneless wing. Can we? So actually, the accompanying video to this YouTube video will be Carla reviewing boneless wings. It'll be her eating like Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, so there's no bones in here, and like I got
So
something called buffalo
you-
sauce. I don't. What's that? Is this supposed to taste like a buffalo?
If you want her to be on your side on this,
Uh-huh.
B-Dubs is not in your favor.
Because
That's-
B-Dub's boneless
that's the
wings are
restaurant-
delicious. Is what
That's
you're
where
saying.
their wings are like the bone in like doesn't do a whole lot for those wings there.
Hmm.
Now if you go to a nicer restaurant, I can totally like, for example, Ale Emporium, like I get that. You would want bone in wings there.
Sponsors of the
But
podcast.
B-Dubs, like you may as well just order boneless and
And be less of a man.
just get what you paid for, I think would be the better phrase.
Worse food. Okay. Yeah, I guess like if that's what you want to put your money towards, that's fine.
I mean, if you want to get off after a long day of work and then go out and work more and pay to do it,
Work
I
is
mean,
just
that's your prerogative,
wow.
dude.
That
Like, I don't-
is that work. The word work is doing some heavy lifting there. I don't know. Braden, I need you to make. I'm not going to give you literally any context. I just need you to make 3 predictions about this next chapter. It's been hyped up. You've been hearing a lot about it. You love making predictions without any
Yeah.
leading questions.
Okay. All right, I got one for you right here. Number 1, they get outside the cave and Voldemort's waiting for them.
My cave alarm went off, boys. Should have disarmed the cave alarm. Step 1.
Can you boys look up in that top left corner? Yep. Okay. Smile and wave. That's my camera.
What did you think
Um,
Peter Pettigrew has been? What did you think Wormtail has been doing this whole time? I just have him watching the cameras. Got him on all my Horcrux eye.
So
My
he's out there
Horcruxing.
waiting for them. 2, Dumbledore doesn't live to get back to Hogwarts. This is the last
Wow.
we see or talk to
Doesn't even-
Dumbledore.
Because he gets killed by Voldemort. Immediately. I mean,
Yes, he's too weak to fight.
if these predictions go together, like we get out of the
Well,
cave,
I'm just
we
kind of
see
like, they're just
Voldemort.
predictions. I'm
Okay.
not saying they go together.
You're covering all your bases.
So there's 2. 3, Harry has to seek counseling after this for
Okay.
PTSD.
Yeah. The 7th book is like
In
really
Ginny.
Harry sitting down with like Professor Flitwick for some reason, just like laying on a couch and being like, and there were all of these dead bodies. Okay. That makes sense. Carla, how would you grade his predictions? On
10 out of 10.
any scale. 10 out of 10. Would predict again. Nice.
Yeah.
Those are the...
Listen to his predictions again.
That's the best score you've ever gotten for predictions, I think.
She would predict them again. So, I mean.
She's like, wow, how did he know exactly what was going to happen? He predicted the camera. He pointed just like Voldemort does in the movie. Ray Fiennes just like, you messed up, guys. Okay, so we're gonna do a live read here. I don't think we're gonna do a howler at this point because we're an hour.
We have taken an
podcast.
hour and a half with one chapter.
Okay, we've only been recording for an hour, so shove off, Malfoy.
6:15, almost an hour and a half.
I'm looking at the recording board that I have that says we're 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 17 seconds into the recording. That's all I'm telling you. He's so mad. Go eat a boneless wing, you dupe. You big doof. Okay, we're going to be reading through Chapter 27, The Lightning Struck Tower. We will not be using British accents in order to conserve my voice, in order not offend both of our British listeners. I'm going to be reading for Dumbledore and also the narration. Harry will be reading for Braden. And that's it. And then we will both pick up other characters as we go along. I'll tell you that. Spoiler, Braden. There are more characters than just Harry and Dumbledore in this chapter. I know. Chapter 27.
Key.
Okay. The Lightning Struck Tower. Gargle some salt water. Jim Dale used to take like a big, crisp bite of like a Granny Smith apple, and that's how he would clear his palate.
Why do you know that?
Why wouldn't I know that? You think I've never read any interviews with Jim Dale about the recording of the Harry Potter audiobooks?
I think if I was going to narrate them,
noob?
I would take a big bite of a nice, warm, boneless chicken wing to clear my palate.
Because it's so easy. It's like, what I'm not going to do is use a whole hand to pick one up and then still have something left in my hand. Do you eat corn on the cob?
Yeah. I don't pay for corn on the cob.
You eat your own homegrown. You eat exclusively stolen corn on the cob.
I summon.
You summon it for free.
I grow it.
You grow it. You've pushed back many times in the narrative of you yourself being a farmer that does farm.
I'm from Indiana. I grow sweet corn.
I'm also from Indiana, and I do not grow sweet corn.
You know someone who does.
That's accurate. I know a couple someones. So it's acceptable to eat it off of the cob instead of having it cut off for you and eaten by a spoon because you don't feel like that you've paid money for it?
I just don't feel like. So like it's kind of a where the disconnect is for me is like the work versus reward ratio, right?
Okay.
So with corn on the cob, yes, there's some work involved there, but it's like the reward is just like it matches up with the amount of work you're putting in. Like with a chicken wing or shrimp or crab, it's kind of like, yes, they all taste very good, and I would never argue that. I love a good bone-in wing. But the like reward, the tiny morsel of chicken you get, doesn't always match up with that amount of work.
What about the dopamine hit that you get from knowing that you did it? You ate the wing. You did a good job eating it.
The dopamine is canceled out when I give my money for it. I'm sorry, Carla. I know you wanted to come on and talk about wings all night, but like.
Yeah, Carla's really mad. She's like looking at her watch, like, let's go, guys.
I'm not.
I'm going to get wings with my friends here in 30 minutes.
Wings only, bone-in exclusively. She's not gonna go to a Portuguese pub and order bone-in wings and get kicked out. Boneless wings. Come on, I meant to say boneless. We all know I meant to say boneless. The lightning struck tower.
Dum dum.
Also, I'm going to at times tell you to stop. You have to look up. You can't keep reading. You can't read the next paragraph or the next word. I'm going to ask you a couple questions or just get your reaction. You can just be like, blah, this happened. Blah. Just so that the listeners know I'm going to do that.
All right, do it.
Once back under the starry sky, Harry heaved Dumbledore onto the top of the nearest boulder and then to his feet. Sodden and shivering, Dumbledore's weight still upon him, Harry concentrated harder than he had ever done upon his destination, Hogsmeade. Closing his eyes, gripping Dumbledore's arm as tightly as he could, he stepped forward into that feeling of horrible compression. He knew it had worked before he opened his eyes. The smell of salt, the sea breeze had gone. He and Dumbledore were shivering and dripping in the middle of the dark high street in Hogsmeade. For one horrible moment, Harry's imagination showed him more in fury creeping toward him around the sides of shops, but he blinked and saw that nothing was stirring. All was still, the darkness complete, but for a few street lamps and lit upper windows. We did it, Professor. Oh, this is you. I forgot that you were Harry.
We did it, Professor.
Harry whispered with difficulty. He suddenly realized that he had a searing stitch in his chest.
We did it. We got the Horcrux.
Dumbledore staggered against him. For a moment, Harry thought that his inexpert apparition had thrown Dumbledore off balance. Then he saw his face, paler and damper than ever in the distant light of a street lamp.
Sir, are you all right?
I've been better, said Dumbledore weakly, though the corners of his mouth twitched. That potion was no health drink. And to Harry's horror, Dumbledore sank onto the ground.
Sir, it's okay. Sir, you're going to be all right. Don't worry.
He looked around desperately for help, but there was nobody to be seen, and all that he could think was that he must somehow get Dumbledore quickly to the hospital wing.
We need to get you up to the school, sir. Madame Pomfrey.
No, said Dumbledore. It is Professor Snape whom I need. But I do not think I can walk very far just yet.
Right. Sir, listen, I'm going to knock on a door, find a place you can stay, then I can run and get Madame...
Severus, said Dumbledore clearly. I need Severus.
All right then, Snape. But I'm going to have to leave you for a moment so I can...
Before Harry could make a move, however, he heard running footsteps. His heart leapt. Somebody had seen. Somebody knew they needed help. And looking around, he saw Madame Rosmerta scurrying down the dark street toward them on high-heeled, fluffy slippers, wearing a silk dressing gown embroidered with dragons. I guess I'll do this one. I was going to have Carla do it. I saw you apparate as I was pulling my bedroom curtains. Thank goodness. I couldn't think what to... But what's wrong with Albus? She came to a halt, panting, and stared down, wide-eyed, at Dumbledore.
He's hurt,
said Harry.
Madame Rosmerta, can he come into the Three Broomsticks while I go up to the school and get help for him?
You can't go up there alone. Don't you realize? Haven't you seen?
If you help me support him,
said Harry, not listening to her. Shocker.
I think we can get him inside.
What has happened? Asked Dumbledore. Rosmerta, what's wrong? The dark mark, Albus. And she pointed into the sky, in the direction of Hogwarts. Dread flooded Harry at the sound of the words. He turned and looked. There it was, hanging in the sky above the school, the blazing green skull with a serpent tongue, the mark Death Eaters left behind whenever they had entered a building, wherever they had murdered. When did it appear? Asked Dumbledore, and his hand clenched painfully upon Harry's shoulder as he struggled to his feet. Must have been minutes ago. It wasn't there when I put the cat out, but when I got upstairs... We need to return to the castle at once, said Dumbledore. Rosmerta, and though he staggered a little, he seemed wholly in command of the situation. We need transport. Brooms. So we're going to stop here. The Dark Mark. We got Dark Mark going. Do you know what that's about? You remember Dark Mark?
Yeah, it's kind of like a signal that they have murdered, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Death Eaters live. We got another one.
Okay, so who's been murdered?
I'm going to say Gosh darn it, I'm blanking on the name, but the
Yes.
new professor of the dark arts.
Of the dark arts is Snape.
Not the dark arts, the of potions.
Slughorn.
Slughorn. Slughorn's been murdered.
Is Slughorn his name in the Portuguese version, Carla? Or is there
Yeah,
oh, that stinks. I
there
was
there are
hoping there was
no
a translation.
translation. No, but there are in Brazilian English. They translate a lot of these names.
Huh.
And it's very weird.
Well, good. Because Slughorn is a pretty weird name in English, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Slughorn. It's like it reminds me of Slugworth from the Willy Wonka movies. Madame Rosmerta, do we care, Agog, about Madame Rosmerta being here? Or is she just a plot device?
I read it as plot device.
Okay. What about what's going on with his insistence on Snape? He's like, gotta have Snape. Can't have the actual nurse. Gotta have Snape.
Snape worked for, or was like a Death Eater for a while and would understand what that potion was
Mm-hmm.
and how to counteract it.
Okay. That's it. It's just practical. Okay.
Maybe he was, I guess the timing doesn't really line up as far as him helping make these, like, I don't know what you would call that cave, but like a maze into the Horcrux.
Like a challenge room.
Yeah. But timing probably doesn't line up on that. Or maybe. I don't know.
All right, let's keep going. 582. I've got a couple behind the bar, she said, looking very frightened. Shall I run and fetch? No, Harry can do it. Harry raised his wand at once.
Accio Rosmerta's brooms.
A second later, they heard a loud bang as the front door of the pub burst open. Two brooms had shot out into the street and were racing each other to Harry's side, where they stopped dead, quivering slightly at waist height. Rosmerta, please send a message to the Ministry, said Dumbledore as he mounted the broom nearest him. It might be that nobody within Hogwarts has yet realized anything is wrong. Harry, put on your invisibility cloak. Harry pulled his cloak out of his pocket and threw it over himself before mounting his broom. Madame Rosmerta was already tottering back toward her pub as Harry and Dumbledore kicked off from the ground and rose up into the air. As they sped toward the castle, Harry glanced sideways at Dumbledore, ready to grab him should he fall. But the sight of the dark mark seemed to have acted upon Dumbledore like a stimulant. He was bent low over his broom, his eyes fixed upon the mark, his long silvery hair and beard flying behind him in the night air. And Harry, too, looked ahead at the skull, and fear swelled inside him like a venomous bubble, compressing his lungs, driving all other discomfort from his mind. How long had they been away? Had Ron, Hermione, and Ginny's luck run out by now? Was it one of them who had caused the dark mark to be set over the school? Or was it Neville, or Luna, or some other member of the DA? And if it was, he was the one who had told them to patrol the corridors. He had asked them to leave the safety of their beds. Would he be responsible again for the death of a friend? As they flew over the dark, twisting lane down which they had walked earlier, Harry heard, over the whistling of the night air in his ears, Dumbledore muttering in some strange language again. He thought he understood why as he felt his broom shudder when they flew over the boundary wall into the grounds. Dumbledore was undoing the enchantments he himself had set around the castle so they could enter at speed. The dark mark was glittering directly above the astronomy tower, the highest of the castle. Did that mean the death had occurred there? Dumbledore had already crossed the crenellated ramparts and was dismounting. Harry landed next to him seconds later and looked around. The ramparts were deserted. The door to the spiral staircase that led back into the castle was closed. There was no sign of a struggle, of a fight to the death, of a body.
What does it mean?
Harry asked Dumbledore, looking up at the green skull with its serpent's tongue glinting evilly above them.
Is it the real mark? Has someone definitely been Professor?
In the dim glow from the mark, Harry saw Dumbledore clutching at his chest with his blackened hand. Go and wake Severus, said Dumbledore faintly but clearly. Tell him what has happened and bring him to me. Do nothing else, speak to nobody else, and do not remove your cloak. I shall wait here.
But
You swore to obey me, Harry. Go. We're going to let George get that out of his system here. Hey, buddy. George Weasley. George Weasley Merriman. I'm assuming Rachel just got home and is going to let him out of the upstairs where I'm recording. I know. It is a very interesting situation. I know you're so scared for Harry and Dumbledore, who died. George is very empathetic. He's an empath. Mr. Grumbles. Okay. You swore to obey me, Harry. Go. Harry hurried over to the door leading to the spiral staircase, but his hand had only just closed upon the iron ring of the door when he heard running footsteps on the other side. He looked around at Dumbledore, who gestured him to retreat. Harry backed away, drawing his wand as he did so. The door burst open, and somebody erupted through it and shouted, Expelliarmus! Harry's body became instantly rigid and immobile, and he felt himself fall back against the tower wall, propped like an unsteady statue, unable to move or speak. He could not understand how it had happened. Expelliarmus was not a freezing charm. Then, by the light of the mark, he saw Dumbledore's wand flying in an arc over the edge of the ramparts and understood. Dumbledore had wordlessly immobilized Harry, and the second he had taken to perform the spell had cost him the chance of defending himself. Stop. Who came through that door, Braden?
Malfoy.
Why?
Because Voldemort knew Dumbledore was going to try and destroy that Horcrux. He led him there, set all that up, so that basically it would lure Voldemort, or would lure Dumbledore and Harry out of the castle together.
Give Malfoy time to become a werewolf.
Give Malfoy time to become a werewolf.
Oh, that's our current theory right now. Carla, I don't know if you've caught up on the Malfoy being a werewolf thing.
I think so.
Werefoy. Malwolf.
Yeah, Malwolf. And then they knew by flash, like, so there honestly probably wasn't even a murder. They just knew by flashing the dark mark that Dumbledore would freak out and get back to that room as quickly as possible, where then they would have them in the same room together and be able to kill them.
Okay. You are going to take the part of the lines of this character.
Okay.
Going forward. Standing against the ramparts, very white in the face, Dumbledore still showed no sign of panic or distress. He merely looked across at his disarmer and said, Good evening, Draco.
Yes.
Malfoy stepped forward, glancing around quickly to check that he and Dumbledore were alone. His eyes fell upon the second broom.
Who else is here?
A question I might ask you, or are you acting alone? Harry saw Malfoy's pale eyes shift back to Dumbledore in the greenish glare of the mark.
No.
We're not sticking with it. He said,
I've got backup.
She?
There are Death Eaters here in your school tonight.
Well, well, said Dumbledore, as though Malfoy was showing him an ambitious homework project. Very good indeed. You found a way to let them in, did you?
Yeah.
Said Malfoy, who was panting.
Right under your nose and you never realized.
Ingenious, said Dumbledore. Yes, forgive me. Where are they now? You seem unsupported. So this is just like the you and what army. Like, I'm sorry, I don't. You said there were Death Eaters and I'm not. Are they invisible or they're tiny? They're really small?
They met some of your guards. They're having a fight down below. They won't be long. I came on ahead. I've got a job to do.
Well then, you must get on and do it, my dear boy, said Dumbledore softly, softer than I said it. Well then. There was silence. Harry stood imprisoned within his own invisible, paralyzed body, staring at the two of them, his ears straining to hear sounds of the Death Eater's distant fight. And in front of him, Draco Malfoy did nothing but stare at Albus Dumbledore, who, incredibly, smiled. Draco, you're not a killer,
How do you know?
said Malfoy at once. He seemed to realize how childish the words had sounded. Harry saw him flush in the mark's greenish light.
You don't know what I'm capable of.
Said Malfoy, more forcefully.
You don't know what I've done.
Oh, yes I do, said Dumbledore mildly. You almost killed Katie Bell and Ronald Weasley. You have been trying with increasing desperation to kill me all year. Forgive me, Draco, but they have been feeble attempts. So feeble, to be honest, that I wonder whether your heart has really been in it.
Wow. Well, the ultimate insult.
Is this you trying?
It doesn't seem like you really want to kill me.
Yeah,
It has been in it.
said Malfoy vehemently.
I've been working on it all year, and tonight...
Somewhere in the depths of the castle, Harry heard a muffled yell. Malfoy stiffened and glanced over his shoulder. Somebody is putting up a good fight, said Dumbledore conversationally. So, you hear about these people putting up good fights? But you were saying, yes, you have managed to introduce Death Eaters into my school, which I admit I thought impossible. How did you do it? But Malfoy said nothing. He was listening to whatever was happening below and seemed almost as paralyzed as Harry was. Perhaps you ought to get on with the job alone, suggested Dumbledore. What if your backup has been thwarted by my guard? As you have perhaps realized, there are members of the Order of the Phoenix here tonight, too. And after all, you don't really need help. I have no wand at the moment. I cannot defend myself. Malfoy merely stared at him. I see, said Dumbledore kindly when Malfoy neither moved nor spoke. You are afraid to act until they join you.
I'm not afraid,
snarled Malfoy, though he still made no move to hurt Dumbledore.
It's you who should be scared.
But why? I don't think you will kill me, Draco. Killing is not nearly as easy as the innocent believe. So tell me, while we wait for your friends, how did you smuggle them in here? It seems to have taken you a long time to work out how to do it. Malfoy looked as though he was fighting down the urge to shout or to vomit. He gulped and took several deep breaths, glaring at Dumbledore. His wand pointed directly at the latter's heart. Then, as though he could not help himself, he said,
I had to mend that broken vanishing cabinet that no one's used for years. That one Montague got lost in last year.
Who ain't got last in? Ah, Dumbledore's sigh was half a groan. He closed his eyes for a moment. That was clever. There is a pair, I take it?
In Borgin and Burke's,
said Malfoy.
And they make a kind of passage between them. Montague told me that when he was stuck in the Hogwarts one, he was trapped in limbo, but sometimes he could hear what was going on at school, and sometimes what was going on in the shop, as if the cabinet was traveling between them, but he couldn't make anyone hear him. In the end, he managed to apparate out, even though he'd never passed his test. He nearly died doing it. Everyone thought it was a really good story, but I was the only one who realized what it meant. Even Borgin didn't know. I was the one who realized there could be a way into Hogwarts through the cabinets if I fixed the broken one.
Very good, murmured Dumbledore. So the Death Eaters were able to pass from Borgin and Burke's into the school to help you. A clever plan, a very clever plan. And, as you say, right under my nose.
Yeah,
said Malfoy, who bizarrely seemed to draw courage and comfort from Dumbledore's praise.
Yeah, it was.
But there were times, Dumbledore went on, weren't there, when you were not sure you would succeed in mending the cabinet? And you resorted to crude and badly judged measures, such as sending me a cursed necklace that was bound to reach the wrong hands, poisoning mead there was only the slightest chance I might drink.
Yeah, well, you still didn't realize who was behind that stuff, did you?
Sneered Malfoy as Dumbledore slid a little down the ramparts, the strength in his legs apparently fading, and Harry struggled fruitlessly, mutely against the enchantment binding him. As a matter of fact, I did, said Dumbledore. I was sure it was you.
Harry has to be, just freaking out right now.
Why don't I tell Ron and Hermione? Freaking told them.
Why didn't you stop me, then?
I tried, Draco. Professor Snape has been keeping watch over you on my orders.
What?
If you want to stop, we can stop. If you have thoughts, say them. Say your thoughts.
No, I don't have any thoughts to say. My head is spinning. He hasn't been doing your orders. He promised my mother.
Of course, that is what he would tell you, Draco, but...
He's a double agent, you stupid old man. He isn't working for you. You just think he is.
Okay, stupid old man, that's a personal attack, Draco.
Come on, man.
We must agree to disagree on whether Snape is evil, Draco. It so happens that I trust Professor Snape.
Well, you're losing your grip then.
Sneered Malfoy.
He's been offering me plenty of help, wanting all the glory for himself, wanting a bit of the action. What are you doing? Did you did you do the necklace? That was stupid. It could have blown everything. But I haven't told him what I've been doing in the room of requirement. He's going to wake up tomorrow and it'll all be over, and he won't be the Dark Lord's favorite anymore. He'll be nothing compared to me. Nothing.
Very gratifying, said Dumbledore mildly. We all like appreciation for our own hard work, of course. That just is so condescending. But you must have had an accomplice all the same. Someone in Hogsmeade, someone who could slip Katie Dumbledore closed his eyes and nodded, as though he was about to fall asleep. Of course, Rosmerta. How long has she been under the Imperious Curse? Do you know what that curse does, Braden?
It's like mind control, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So I should have Karagogged about Rosmerta.
Should have cared a gog.
Classic question from Rogge that I dismiss.
Hey, that's why I throw in all the red herrings. Not your fault. It's your line.
Got there at last, have you?
Malfoy taunted. There was yet another yell from below, rather louder than the last. We should have Carla do the yells. That was rather louder than the last. I appreciate that. Malfoy looked nervously over his shoulder again, then back at Dumbledore, then back at me, and back to the horse, and back at me. Back at Dumbledore, who went on. So poor Rosmerta was forced to lurk in her own bathroom and pass that necklace to any Hogwarts student who entered the room unaccompanied? And if the poison mead, well, naturally, Rosmerta was able to poison it for you before she sent the bottle to Slughorn, believing that it was to be my Christmas present. Yes, very neat. Very neat. Poor Mr. Filch would not, of course, think to check a bottle of Rosmerta's, because Filch is good enough to check things. Tell me, how have you been communicating with Rosmerta? I thought we all had methods of communication in and out of the school monitored.
Enchanted coins,
said Malfoy. Duh. As though he was compelled to keep talking, though his one hand was shaking badly.
I had one and she had the other, and I could send her messages.
Isn't that the secret method of communication the group that called themselves Dumbledore's Army used last year? Asked Dumbledore. His voice was light.
Artist formerly known as Mousecough.
His voice was light and conversational, but Harry saw him slip an inch lower down the wall as he said it.
Yeah, I got the idea from them,
said Malfoy with a twisted smile.
I got the idea of poisoning the mead from the Mudblood Granger as well. I heard her talking in the library about how Filch not recognizing potions.
About how Filch don't recognize potion? Please do not use that offensive word in front of me, said Dumbledore. Malfoy gave a harsh laugh.
Ha! You care about me saying Mudblood when I'm about to kill you?
Okay, we're going to stop here. So what is the biggest... A lot of reveals in these last 3 pages, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to run through a couple of them. The cabinet being the way they got people in and being what he was working on in the room of requirement. The Madame Rosmerta Imperiist and also the coins, those kind of go together, being how they communicated. Draco being officially behind the plots, like the necklace and the poison, and also Draco being sure that Snape is on their side. Which one of those 4 is the most meaningful for you right now?
Probably the Draco thinks Snape is on his side.
Yeah.
Because he has given Draco a lot of confidence in that, and was it this book that started with the conversation with Bellatrix and her sister or whatever, and
the unbreakable vow?
Yeah, so I would love some more detail from Dumbledore on why this works.
This is the official death of your Draco turning himself into a werewolf theory.
There's still time.
I can't find a good death sound. Maybe like crickets, because you're dead and you're not there to talk. So it's just crickets. Sorry, crickets. Crickets for Braden's theory here. Okay, I'll pick back up here on the bottom of page 598. Yes, I do, said Dumbledore, and Harry saw his feet slide a little on the floor as he struggled to remain upright. But as for being about to kill me, Draco, you have had several long minutes now. We are quite alone. I am more defenseless than you can have dreamed of finding me, and still you have not acted. Draco's mouth contorted involuntarily, as though he had tasted something very bitter. Now, about tonight, Dumbledore went on. I am a little puzzled about how it happened. You knew that I had left the school? But of course, he answered his own question, classic Dumbledore. Rosmerta saw me leaving. She tipped you off using your ingenious coins, I'm sure.
That's right,
said Malfoy.
But she said you were just going for a drink. You'd be back.
Well, I certainly did have a drink. And I came
I'm a bit
back.
Schmammered.
Between you and me, Draco, it was quite a drink.
This is a wild night. I'm seeing like 3 of you right now.
I came back after a fashion, mumbled Dumbledore. So you decided to spring a trap for me.
We decided to put the dark mark over the tower and get you to hurry up here, see who's been killed, said Malfoy. And it worked.
Well,
I got that right.
Yes and no, said Dumbledore. But am I to take it then that nobody has been murdered?
Oh, someone's dead.
We kill people. People die, said Malfoy, and his voice seemed to go up an octave as he said it. Go up an octave here.
One of your people? I don't know who. It was dark.
Okay, so
I stepped over the body.
Not my fault.
I was supposed to be waiting up here when you got back. Only your Phoenix slot got in the way.
Yes, they do that, said Dumbledore. There was a bang and shouts from below, louder than ever. It sounded as though people were fighting on the actual spiral staircases that led to where Dumbledore, Malfoy, and Harry, invisible and paralyzed, stood. Harry's heart thundered, unheard, in his invisible chest. Someone was dead. Malfoy had stepped over a body? But whose was it? There is little time one way or another, said Dumbledore. So let us discuss your options, Draco.
My options,
said Draco loudly.
I'm standing here with a wand. I'm about to kill you.
My dear boy, let us have no more pretense about that. If you were going to kill me, you would have done it when you first disarmed me, and you would not have stopped for this pleasant chat about ways and means.
You won't do nothing.
Do it. Pull the trigger. Sell me the car. Kill me. 3, 2, 1. Kill me, Draco.
I haven't got any options,
said Malfoy, and he was suddenly as white as Dumbledore.
I've got to do it. He'll kill me. He'll kill my whole family.
I appreciate the difficulty of your position, said Dumbledore. Why else do you think I have not confronted you before now? Because I knew that you would have been murdered if Lord Voldemort realized that I suspected you. Malfoy winced at the sound of the name. I did not dare speak to you of the mission with which I knew you had been entrusted in case he used legitimacy against you, continued Dumbledore. But now at last we can speak plainly to each other. No harm has been done. You have hurt nobody, though you are very lucky that your unintentional victim survived. I can help you, Draco.
No, you can't,
said Malfoy, his one hand shaking very badly. Indeed.
Nope. Nobody can. He told me to do it or he'll kill me. I've got no choice.
So how's Dumbledore going to help him?
Just keep him inside the castle? I don't know.
He cannot kill you if you're already dead, said Dumbledore, tapping his index finger on the side of his head. Come over to the right side, Draco, and we can hide you more completely than you could possibly imagine. What is more, I can send members of the Order to your mother tonight to hide her likewise. Nobody would be surprised that you had died in your attempt to kill me. Forgive me, but Lord Voldemort probably expects it. Nor would the Death Eaters be surprised that we had captured and killed your mother. It is what they would do themselves. After all, your father is safe at the moment in Azkaban. When the time comes, we can protect him too. Come over to the right side, Draco. You are not a killer. Malfoy stared at Dumbledore.
But I've got this far, didn't I?
He said slowly.
They thought I'd die in the attempt, but I'm here, and you're in my power. I'm the one with the wand. You're at my mercy.
No, Draco, said Dumbledore quietly. It is my mercy, and not yours, that matters now. Malfoy did not speak. His mouth was open, his wand hand still trembling. Harry thought he saw it drop by a fraction. But suddenly, footsteps were thundering up the stairs. Okay, thank you, George. I need light to read. But suddenly, footsteps were thundering up the stairs, and a second later, Malfoy was buffeted out of the way as 4 people in black robes burst through the door onto the ramparts. Still paralyzed, classic Harry, his eyes staring unblinkingly, Harry gazed in terror upon 4 strangers. It seemed the Death Eaters had won the fight below. A lumpy-looking man with an odd lopsided leer gave a wheezy giggle. This is you.
Dumbledore cornered,
he said, and he turned to a stocky little woman who looked as though she could be his sister and who was grinning eagerly.
Dumbledore wardless! Dumbledore alone! Well done, Draco, well done.
Good evening, Amicus, said Dumbledore calmly, as though welcoming the man to a tea party. And you've brought Alecto, too. Charming. The woman gave an angry little titter.
Okay, I can't keep doing that voice. It honestly hurts.
That's fine.
Think your little jokes will help you on the deathbed then.
She jeered. Jokes? No, these are manners, replied Dumbledore. Okay, this is definitely you.
Do it,
said the stranger standing nearest to Harry, a big, rangy man with matted gray hair and whiskers, whose black Death Eater robes looked uncomfortably tight. He had a voice like none that Harry had ever heard, a rasping bark of a voice. Harry could smell a powerful mixture of dirt, sweat, and, unmistakably, of blood coming from him. His filthy hands had long, yellowish nails. Is that you, Fenrir? Asked Dumbledore.
That's right,
rasped the other.
Pleased to see me, Dumbledore?
No, I cannot say that I am. Greyback grinned, showing pointed teeth. Blood trickled down his chin, and he licked his lips slowly, obscenely.
But you know how much I like kids, Dumbledore.
Am I to take it that you are attacking even without the full moon now? That is most unusual. You have developed a taste for human flesh that cannot be satisfied once a month?
That's right,
said Fenrir Greyback.
Shocks you that, does it, Dumbledore? Frightens you?
Well, I cannot pretend it does not disgust me a little, said Dumbledore. And yes, I am a little shocked that Draco here invited you, of all people, into the school where his friends live.
I didn't,
breathed Malfoy. He was not looking at Fenrir. He did not seem to want to even glance at him.
I didn't know he was going to come. I wouldn't want to miss a trip to Hogwarts, Dumbledore,
rasped Greyback.
Not when there are throats to be ripped out. Delicious. Delicious.
Do you know who this is now? Do
I know who this is?
Yeah, do you know who Fenrir Greyback is?
Is it like Voldemort's disguise?
No, he is
He's a werewolf.
Yeah, he's a werewolf. He's a werewolf.
Yeah. We already knew that, right?
Yeah, I was checking. I knew it. But I know things that you don't know, so I was seeing if you knew it.
Got it. Okay, yes.
So,
he's a werewolf.
So we do have a werewolf, so we're right about that. And he raised a yellow fingernail and picked at his front teeth, leering at Dumbledore.
I could do you for afters, Dumbledore. I could do you for afters, Dumbledore.
No, said the 4th Death Eater sharply. He had a heavy, brutal-looking face. We've got orders. Draco's got to do it. Now, Draco, and quickly. Malfoy was showing less resolution than ever. He looked terrified as he stared into Dumbledore's face, which was even paler and rather lower than usual, as he had slid so far down the rampart wall.
He's not got long for this world anyway, if you ask me,
said the lopsided man to the accompaniment of his sister's wheezing giggles.
Look at him. What's happened to you then, Dumby?
Weaker resistance, slower reflexes, Amicus, said Dumbledore. Old age, in short. One day, perhaps, it will happen to you, if you are lucky.
What's that mean, then? What's that mean?
Yelled the Death Eater, suddenly violent.
Always the same, weren't you, Dumby? Talking and doing nothing. Nothing. I don't even know why the Dark Lord's bothering to kill you. Come on, Draco, do it.
But at that moment, there were renewed sounds of scuffling from below, and a voice shouted, "They've blocked the stairs! Reducto! Reducto!" Harry's heart leapt. So these four had not eliminated all opposition, but merely broken through the fight to the top of the tower, and by the sound of it created a barrier behind them. "Now, Draco, quickly!" said the brutal-faced man angrily. But Malfoy's hand was shaking so badly that he could barely aim.
"I'll do it,"
snarled Fenrir, moving towards Dumbledore with his hands outstretched, his teeth bared. "I said no!" shouted the brutal-faced man. There was a flash of light, and the werewolf was blasted out of the way. He hit the ramparts and staggered, looking furious. Harry's heart was hammering so hard it seemed impossible that nobody could hear him standing there, imprisoned by Dumbledore's spell. If he could only move, he could aim a curse from under the cloak. "Draco, do it." Oh, this is the woman. Yeah, you're right. No, you're good. Go for it.
"Draco, do it or stand aside so one of us..."
screeched the woman, but at that precise moment, the door to the ramparts burst open once more, and there stood Snape, his wand clutched in his hand as his black eyes swept the scene, from Dumbledore slumped against the wall to the four Death Eaters, including the enraged werewolf, and Malfoy.
"We've got a problem, Snape,"
said the lumpy Amicus, whose eyes and wand were fixed alike upon Dumbledore.
"The boy doesn't seem able."
But somebody else had spoken Snape's name, quite softly. "Severus." The sound frightened Harry beyond anything he had experienced all evening. For the first time, Dumbledore was pleading. Snape said nothing, but walked forward and pushed Malfoy roughly out of the way. "Shove off, Malfoy." The three Death Eaters fell back without a word. Even the werewolf seemed cowed. Snape gazed for a moment at Dumbledore, and there was revulsion and hatred etched in the harsh lines of his face. "Severus, please." Snape raised his wand and pointed it directly at Dumbledore. Carla?
Avada Kedavra.
A jet of green light shot from the end of Snape's wand and hit Dumbledore squarely in the chest. Harry's scream of horror never left him. Silent and unmoving, he was forced to watch as Dumbledore was blasted into the air. For a split second, he seemed to hang suspended beneath the shining skull, and then he fell slowly backward, like a great rag doll, over the battlements and out of sight. And that concludes chapter 27. Braden, can I get that, but in a sentence, please?
Oh, man. Wow. So, like, we had kind of joked about Dumbledore dying, but I didn't really ever believe it.
See, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if this was going to be anticlimactic because you felt like you knew.
I just didn't think, like, we've still got another book. I
Yeah.
didn't think it would happen yet.
We got another book.
Maybe it hasn't. Maybe Dumbledore somehow lives through this. I kind of doubt it, but maybe he lives. Seems like a Dumbledore thing to do, like somehow like hang on to a sliver of life. But
maybe he's got a Horcrux somewhere from all the people he killed, and that's how he knows so much about them. Do you recognize that spell that Snape used, Avada Kedavra?
yeah, that's one of the. Is that one of the unforgivables?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because it does what?
Is that the excruciating pain one?
No, it's worse.
No. Dang it.
There's only one person that has ever survived it.
Harry.
Yeah. Because it does what?
Kills you.
Kills you dead. Plus also knocked him off of Astronomy Tower, which is like 100 feet in the air.
So he's super dead at this point.
I'm just saying that the evidence that we have at this point seems to point towards him being dead.
Unless Spin Zone,
Mm-hmm.
this was a fake Avada
Nice.
Kedavra.
Okay, I thought you were going to say a fake Dumbledore, like a Polyjuice Dumbledore.
that could be it too. There's a lot of like fake stuff that could be happening right now.
Dumbledore's actually an animagus. He turns into an owl, a giant owl. Isn't that what we've discussed in the past? So the next chapter is going to begin with the owl rising back up over the ramparts.
It can't be that because this would be the last book. This would be the last chapter of the last book. So it
That's when
definitely
the
can't
owl
be
is
that.
revealed.
That's how it would end.
The hour of the owl.
Yeah.
So what are
We've
the
never seen Dumbledore and Hedwig in the same room at the same time.
Is that true?
Oh my
I don't think we
gosh.
have. No, there's no interaction between them two. I don't think. Is there? I can't recall
I don't
any.
think interaction. No.
Or even being in the same room.
A couple times, yeah. When he goes to pick up Harry, he like
Oh
the
yeah.
owl, but the owl was already. He was like, yeah, Hedwig will just meet us there. Like,
So
I'm
here's
pretty
the real
sure.
question.
Yes, and that's another proof.
Yeah.
How did he know that Hedwig would meet them there?
How did he know?
How would Hedwig know where they were going?
Braden.
So the real question for me now, if Dumbledore is dead, can the curse that's like paralyzed Harry be lifted?
Oh,
Or is he
and he's
just-
stuck like that.
The next book is just about like Harry, like Ron and Hermione are just like carrying Harry around everywhere.
No, they spend half the book looking for him. He's invisible too.
Yeah.
Frick, we lost Harry. Where is he? Where is he? Ron's just like crawling along the ramparts, whatever a rampart is.
Yeah, that was another question that came out of this. What the heck is a
Because
rampart?
I always just picture like a roof, like with shingles and stuff, and they're just like standing on it trying to.
It's like that's like the top of a castle tower where you have like a well it's a flat surface, a rocky flat surface, and then all around it you have those little peaks.
Like the
all
archers
around
would
it.
like stand behind, kind
Exactly.
of. Okay.
Yes, those are the ramparts.
So then how is Dumbledore sliding down them if they're flat?
What do you mean?
Because it talks like 5 times about how Dumbledore
He slides
was like
so much
a couple
in this
inches.
chapter.
There's a lot of sliding.
Because he's leaning against the surface,
Oh,
right?
maybe he's leaning against the wall
And
part,
then
and he's just like.
and he's sliding down that wall.
Okay, I was picturing him like he had his feet braced, like he was on a ramp. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I was too.
So we're not going to address the fact that Carla is teaching us words in English right now, because her English is better than ours.
It's okay.
That's fine. We have no shame about that.
We're
we're lifelong learners, just a muggle. So Dumbledore, let's say that Dumbledore is dead for the sake of argument. What are the implications in Harry's life besides him maybe getting released from his freezing spell? How does Harry get off of this freaking tower?
I don't know. Where's Dumbledore's wand?
Good question.
Need that. Can't let Snape have that.
Last we knew, Malfoy had it, right? Because he.
Well, I think it got flung out of his hand, right? Out of Dumbledore's hand, like it was like arcing across the room. Or does Malfoy have it?
No, Malfoy. Malfoy took it away from him. I don't think
He definitely
I don't know if
disarmed
he
him.
Picked it up. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Disarmed him.
Does
Yeah.
Snape just kill Malfoy on the spot because he couldn't do it? Or does he hand him over to Voldemort?
Yeah, so I didn't know if you had any more. I mean, we can obviously get into the Snape side of it too. Is that where you want to go? What are the Snape-lications? Implications?
Man, I've just got a lot going through
Yeah.
my mind.
And so if you
right
could
now.
do that, if you could do it out loud for the purpose of recording a podcast that's about you reacting to the momentous events in the Harry Potter series.
So Snape is theoretically the most powerful wizard in the room right now.
He killed the Dumbledore, and the other dudes are described as brutal-faced, lumpy, girl lumpy, and a werewolf, and Draco who's like too scared to do anything, and Harry who's frozen.
Yeah, because Harry's frozen, Snape is the most powerful wizard in the room. Therefore, probably in the castle, probably at Hogwarts right now.
Okay.
So that seems bad.
Because
he just killed Dumbledore, so I think his alliance to Voldemort is somewhat clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to be
Or
on the
even
record
if he
about
didn't
that.
kill Dumbledore, it's like, well, again though, what if this is fake? What if this is all for show?
It's like the moon landing, you know? Like the
Because it
flag. Why is the
seems-
flag waving? There's no wind.
It's
There's
fake
no
news.
moon wind.
I just don't
What the mainstream
know.
media doesn't want you to know is that it was actually like a cardboard cutout of Dumbledore. Snape was framed. It was an inside job.
It was a trap.
Yeah.
Because it seems very JKR like to continue the whole like is Snape on our side or not thing in the last book.
You don't think that she would set up, okay, like this is definitely where we are, and then like now we're like we're to the final showdown?
Yeah, you're right. That could probably be it. But like a last book and movie without Dumbledore?
Yeah. Dumble no more. Dead Bulldor. Dumble dead? I'm just writing prophets for the Daily Prophet. Writing articles. Dumble dead? Question mark. Many eyewitnesses saw a gigantic owl fleeing the scene.
We have to secure the pensive.
Gotta secure it.
That's incredibly important right now.
That's high priority. So
Gotta get that.
So what is the immediate aftermath here? So Snape's the most powerful person in the room. Is Snape just hanging out and he's like, this is my school now? Or is he bolting to go like hang out with Voldemort?
I feel like Snape knows Harry's in the room, right?
There's a second broom.
Right. And so he probably rips the cloak off of Harry and keeps him, though, in the paralyzed spell.
So has the werewolf pick him up.
I don't know if he just, like... It doesn't seem like there's a lot of good that can happen right now, unless members of the Order show up.
We know they're here, or we've been told they're here.
Or what if... Okay, I've got two what ifs.
I know, you've used them both.
Sirius is not dead, and he comes charging into the room as a werewolf, and there's an epic werewolf fight.
Oh, he's in
In
his
the middle
dog.
of the
He's in
room.
his dog form.
He's in his dog form. Sorry, not werewolf.
We
dog
have
form.
So far to this point, 100% of the time that we have seen a full werewolf, Sirius has fought it.
Seems likely that might happen again. A member of the Order somehow escaped the fighting downstairs, is able to disarm Snape, and there's an epic fight now, and Harry's just like in the middle of it, awkwardly, like watching it. They know the kind of spell that they would have put on Harry, so they like are able to get him out of it after the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then this book ends basically like the last one did, where like everybody kind of is like hunkers down back with their respective teams, and it's like, all right, Dumbledore's dead, so now we gotta be on the offensive, go after Voldemort.
What's our expected casualty rate in the hallway below? Are we thinking like half of the Order of the Phoenix died down there? We got a couple kids that are dead.
I think Tonks and Lupin are dead.
Wow.
I think we lose a lot in this book.
Dumbledore wasn't enough.
Trying to figure out how Hagrid comes into the end of this.
What's the... Shoot, I forgot the question I was going to ask. How is Harry going to find more Horcruxes without a Dumbledore? Uses wand as a compass. Dumbledore's wand is a Horcrux finder.
The prince from the textbook is going to show him.
Oh. There's gonna be a redeeming moment at the end of the book where like a dude steps out from like a shadowy corner of a hallway and is like, "You mean me?" The Half-Blood Prince, Mr. Sectum Sempra himself.
Harry, it's me, your brother, Larry. Larry Potter.
What if?
I am the prince.
So you know how Dumbledore has a phoenix who like dies and is reborn?
Fox.
Maybe now
For
that
Fox's sake.
Dumbledore died, he's like, finally I get to be reborn as young Dumbledore. Yumbledore. Talk about Jude Law playing Dumbledore. A little bit of a snack. And so he's like, okay, now we're cooking. We got young Dumble up in the scene here.
The possibilities are endless.
They really are. When you factor in Polyjuice Potion and people being animals and animals being people, possibilities are endless. Let's say
Exactly.
Dumbledore is dead. Would he be a ghost?
Seems like it. Yeah. Seems like he would be a
Just because
pretty important
you can
ghost.
picture a ghost Dumbledore, and you're like, yeah, I
Mhm.
buy it.
yeah. That's pretty much all I need. Yeah.
I'll tell you, just to get your brain working a little bit here, the title of the next chapter is Flight of the Prince.
Oh. So the prince shows up sooner than I had anticipated. Larry Potter.
There's only like 2
lurking in the
chapters left.
shadows.
There's 3 chapters left. So he's been pulling the strings this whole time, old Lair.
Or is Snape the prince?
He is a Snape.
Prince Snape. Seems like maybe Snape is the prince. Because the picture on the chapter title is also Snape.
Oh, okay, so now we're just looking at things.
I mean, you read it to me. Why can't I look at it?
I didn't say, okay, let's just like peruse the first page or 4.
I mean, I already read the end of the book, so.
Okay, well, then you've been doing a really good job of acting dumb.
Thanks.
Well, listeners, that takes us to the end of this episode of where we've been recording for an hour and 58 minutes. That brings us to the end of this episode of A Muggle's Perspective. We want to give a huge thanks to our guest today, Carla. Thank you so much. We really appreciated your insight. Thank you for, what's the word I'm looking for? Putting up with doesn't seem strong enough. Surviving the great chicken wing wars of 2020. After everything else we've been through as a global populace in 2020, you've had to go through the boneless versus
endure
debate.
the worst. Yes, I think I'll have PTSD.
Endure is a good word. You're
over
gonna be in
this.
Flitwick's therapy sessions with Harry that Braden predicted. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. It's been great.
I'm glad
Thanks,
you have
Carla.
enjoyed it. Thank you, Braden, for coming with some strong predictions and for reading this book with me. If you, like Bo and Chad, would like to chime in about your feelings on chicken wings and flavors and preparations and so forth, you can call us on the hotline, which is called the Howler. It is 978 768 8370. 978-768-8370. Which spells 978 Potter 0. Or you can also text that number. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you on Facebook and Instagram as well, where we attempt to maintain an on-again, off-again presence. Let us know, what you think about any Harry Potter stuff, what you think about Braden and my's attempts at accents, and our limited mastery of the English language, which we've discovered today. Anything else you guys have before we sign off?
Thanks again, Carla. It's been fun.
Thank you, guys.
Carla, be thinking now about when you want to come on for Deathly Hallows.
Yes, I'll need to think about that in advance.
Spoiler alert, Braden.
Just this once.
We're probably going to be reading. We're probably going to be doing several live read chapters over the course of the next book, because it's a doozy.
They're all going to be live
That
read.
would be crazy. We would probably hear from like some lawyer that's like, guys, stop. You can't just read the books, the whole book.
This thing is called the cease and desist.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks you guys for your support. And you will hear from us next time covering probably the rest of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. The last 3 chapters would be my guess. So we're gonna let the outro music play us out here. And yeah, thanks again to Carla, and catch you on the flippity flop.
Bye.
Bye.